Good evening, everybody, or good morning, good afternoon by the time you come to watch this. It is the STFC fan chat with a bit of a special episode today. There's been a lot of shit happen this week, quite frankly, and we didn't want to talk about it, but we wanted to give that little bit of escapism. So we've come up with a game, and what we would like from you guys watching, listening, is to challenge us. I'll explain the rules shortly, and we want to know, can you beat our score? We're all against each other, there's no teams, and it is the A to Z of Swindon Town. But before we start, football, say it quietly, might just be coming home. And to discuss, before we get into the game, to discuss that with me, I have Joe, Ben, Adam, Craig, and Kieran with me tonight. How are you all, guys?
Evening.
All good.
Yeah, all good, thanks.
Yeah,
Very
so
here. So who wants to go first? Hands up before the tournament started. Who believed England would get to a semi-final?
yep.
Oh, Craig. Oh dear. And at this stage, we are obviously recording Sunday night, so the game's still 3 nights away.
Thank you.
Who is daring to
Try.
that we might get to a final? Oh, in the balance, a couple. Kieran, I'll come to you first as you're dressed the part. How did you enjoy the game last night? You need to come off mute. The textbook. No, I mean, we've been doing these now for what, 7, 8 months, and still someone messes up the technology. Kieran, are you with us? No, he's not. So I'll tell you what, I'll ask Craig, as he's closest alphabetically. How did you enjoy the game?
Oh, I mean, I know quite a few people have said it's the most relaxed I've ever been watching an England game. I mean, crikey, I don't think we've ever sort of won that convincingly or by that margin for, well, as long as I've been watching England, that's for sure. But I mean, they played so well. People are saying, oh, you know, it's only against the Ukraine, but I think we've seen so far that there's no easy games in this tournament, unless you're playing in the knockout phase against Wales, of course. But yeah. But yeah, you know, Ukraine played really well in their last of 16 game, and you know, they haven't looked too bad throughout the tournament, so they weren't going to be a pushover. And like I said, you can only beat who's in front of you, and that's what we've done, and we did it convincingly. Another great performance from Harry Kane, and you know, it looks like we're going from strength to strength, and I don't see any reason why we can't go all the way through to the final.
And Ben, Craig mentioned Harry Kane there. He obviously got quite a lot of stick online, particularly after the first 2 games of the tournament. But by my calculations, he's only 2 off the Golden Boot at the moment, and all the closest competitors have been eliminated from the tournament. Could he still get it, or could Raheem Sterling get it, who's also on 3 goals?
I think if England go on to win, he's got a chance of getting over the next 2 games. Yeah, I can't believe after, you know, when we got past group phases, everyone was thinking, oh, we should drop him. And to talk about having Rashford in, like, not one point do I think we should drop Harry Kane, because goal scorers just need goals. He got one, he was always going to kick on. And England have done the right thing. They've actually played a little bit like, say, like in Italy, have done in previous years. They've slowly eased into the tournament, because the opening group games is pretty average. They just look pretty solid. But as they've got into it, momentum has kicked in more and more and more. I just hope they haven't peaked a little bit too early. But they've got a tough one against the Danes, who'll be plucky, and then either the Spanish or the Italians in the final, and then that proves to be such a quality game. I'm pleased we're at home, which gives us an advantage if we get there.
And if I can just briefly move over to the hottest signing at Swindon Town this summer. As always, I'd like your tactical input, Mr. Wood. Gareth Southgate equally. If I remember rightly, Southgate out was trending an hour before kickoff against Croatia, and now there's call to him to be knighted.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't see the Southgate out things. Maybe I don't. Maybe I haven't been typing it in enough. And yeah, I think tactically, yeah, okay, we haven't conceded a goal and we've won games. So can we really complain at what we've done so far? I think one thing I was chatting to a few people today about, the squad management really has been superb. Like, I think if you think like, yeah, okay, we all want Grealish to be on at a certain time and all that thing, but when you think of the wealth of talent we've got going forwards, and he's managed to rotate that in a decent manner, and then also keep clean sheets whilst also changing defenders around as well. You know, with Maguire only playing, was it the last 2 games and things like that? I just think it's brilliant. I think, you know, I've criticised his selection, but that's because I'm a fan. I don't get people that say, I think when Sterling got that goal and everybody was like, oh, Sterling, people saying he should be dropped. Football fans will say that. And I'm not being funny. I don't think necessarily he should be dropped, but for 85% of the game, apart from yesterday, Sterling beforehand wasn't very good. But the problem is he performs in that 15% and normally gets us a goal, whether that's an assist or a goal. So that's why he keeps his place. But I really do, and I know you didn't ask me this, but I really want people to shut up with England getting the easier side of the draw. It's a load of bollocks, because at the end of the day, they said that in the World Cup, they said that in the Euros. If it wasn't England, nobody would give a shit. You know what I mean? It was like, because it's not our fault that Germany are out. It's not our, well, they're out because of us, so it is our fault. But you know, it's, you know, France were the favourites to win it. They were one of the favourites to win it. So all this bollocks about having the easier side of the draw, especially in the year that we've had, it's just a load of rubbish. Southgate deserves the plaudits he should be getting, in my opinion. Yes, he's not everybody's cup of tea, but you know, for me, to get to a semi-final of a tournament without conceding a goal is an achievement in its own. But then yesterday, I thought we were just so professional yesterday. It was such a good, like, it wasn't thrilling. I mean, Kieran, I think, mentioned in the chat yesterday, it wasn't a thrilling game. It was a game that we probably knew we were going to win, but we were very professional throughout the whole game, you know. And Ukraine, to be fair to them, they were just knackered. They were you could see it. I think they had no press on in the last like half an hour. Maybe the 2-hour game that they had the other night probably didn't help. But at the end of the day, as Craig said, you've got to play what's in front of you. And if we're on that side of the draw because we've won the group, so be it.
No, I mean, you raised a lot of really good points there, and I think I pretty much agree with all of them. The bit about side of the draw and stuff, and people saying we need to finish second to avoid such and such. At the end of the day, France are out. That's their fault. You know, Germany are out. That's their fault. Belgium are out. That's their fault. We've beaten what's in front of us, with the exception of Scotland. And you know, and as you say, and Joe, it's a point I'd like your opinion on if I can. Defensively, considering everyone went in saying England's attack is really, really good, but defensively it's suspect. Not conceded a goal yet. Very, very impressive. And everyone will say, look who they've played. You can, you know, we concede goals to lesser nations in the past. You know, there will be many people who went into that Ukraine game thinking, is this going to be Iceland all over again?
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, you say look at who we've played, but Ukraine have scored plenty of goals in the tournament. Germany scored plenty of goals. Croatia scored goals in their other game. So, you know, that's 3 decent attacks we've kept out there. And I know at the start of the tournament, everybody was dubious about Rice and Phillips together, but I think the pair of them two, they've been sensational. Stones as well. Stones has really matured in the last couple of years, I think, and he looks a lot more composed now. But I just think as a defensive unit, even you see like Sterling and whoever's on the other side, they're all back defending, working hard for the team. And you know, it's unlike England, isn't it? Because England normally shoot ourselves in the foot every tournament. You know, there's always a stupid mistake or soft goals that we're letting in from set pieces or something like that. And at the moment, touch wood, we don't seem to be having that problem. Obviously, still 2 big games to go, and anything can happen. But it's nice to have a team that when you go 1-0 up, you don't feel like you're going to lose. And you know, and it's I don't care. People can talk about style of football. I don't care about style of football. If England win it, I couldn't give a monkey's how they play, to be honest.
It's weird being a Swindon fan having that feeling as well. Oh, we scored now, we'll probably win. It feels foreign to us, doesn't it, a little bit? Because That's not really Swindon thing to do. Oh, we scored. It's just like, oh, it's just that nervous after.
Yeah.
But with England, you're right. It's we feel quite confident.
I mean, as soon as Harry Kane scored last night, I nearly turned it off because I was so convinced that we were going to win.
I had a very similar conversation with a couple of people where they like going into the Germany game. And they were like, "We're not scoring goals. We're not really playing fantastic." And I said, "Listen, at the end of the day, if England bore the hell out of every team for the next 4 games and win 1-0, they've won the tournament. And at the end of the day, no one's going to remember, oh, we only scored 1 goal in every game. We won the Euros. The lyrics for Three Lions will finally change, that kind of thing." And but yeah, I was really, really happy, really impressed. I mean, you mentioned Rice and Phillips there. I think they've been sensational. I was giving credit to Mings after the first 2 games, but I think you can see the difference Maguire adds. That's no slight on Mings; he's just a different player, and you can see what it meant for Maguire to score yesterday. I felt similar to Adam. I've been fairly critical of Sterling throughout. Other than his goals, if you like. But I thought yesterday he was very good. And ironically, Pickford had his only sort of meh game of the tournament where he went through a 20, 25-minute spell of just sort of shouting at himself for doing everything wrong. But he's been so dependable. Kieran, are you with us now? Are you able to finally let that emotion out, let out that roar?
Yeah, no, I was doing it through the internet for some reason rather than the Zoom app on my laptop, and that decided not to work, so I don't know what was happening with that. But no, last night was a very weird feeling, being sort of done with by half time. I felt the game was done with by half time, and I just was hoping we'd only win it 2-0 because I had a bet on Kane and Maguire to score in England 2-0. So, and as I went to go cash it out on Sky Bet for 60 quid, because I thought, what that'll do, it's too early. Fucking Kane scored the 3rd one. So it's not as angry during the game as that. But it was, it was easy. I just hope we're not going to think it's too easy now, because that was a slight worry that we've got past Ukraine fairly easily. Is that going to give us a false sense of security going into the next one? But I don't think it will, this squad, because I think Gareth Southgate is very good at keeping them grounded. He was very good at keeping them grounded for the Ukraine game, because that was the game that I was probably nervous about in terms of it's a similar situation to the Scotland game where we've got to maybe not as much, because if you draw or you lose, you're out. But with the Scotland game, I felt like we struggled to get up with it as much as they did. But the Germany game then, it's come off the back of a Germany game into a Ukraine game. It's just like difficult maybe to get up for it. And we're not thinking, look, it's going to be too easy. But I think Southgate, one thing he's been very good at is like there's no easy game in these tournaments. There's no easy games in football. We've got to go out there and show them our best. And we scored within the first 4 minutes. And after that, it looked like it was going to be a hiding. There was a bit of worry in that first 4 minutes that Ukraine looked a bit like Scotland, where they were sitting back a little bit too much. No, I think that's because that's how they knew how we struggled. I think that's what our biggest thing against Scotland was. They sat back quite a lot and then just tried to hit us on the counter. But we've looked solid at the back. There's not a lot you can complain about this side. We've cut through, no injuries. Everyone's looking sharp. Everyone's getting game time. Everyone's ready to get involved when we do. And I think I've got a really good feeling against Denmark on Wednesday. I think it's going to be a difficult game because it's a semi-final. Both sides are going to want to get there, and obviously they've got a spirit of what happened to Ericsson, and I think also you got to look at it as well. Kasper Schmeichel's going to be up for it, because I think the only trophy he's missing from his dad's one's a Champions League and a European Championships trophy. So he'll be up for it. But I think it's at Wembley. We've got enough about us, and we know how to play on that pitch. And it's going to be, the pitch may not be the best after the semi-final on Tuesday either. So I think that we'll be sitting here this time next week. We won't be sitting here this time next week. We'll all be sitting watching England in a final.
I will just ask you before we go on to the main event for tonight, for a score prediction, before we know anything about lineups and while we're all still riding that high from last night. So I'll go in order of how you appear on my screen. Joe, what's your prediction, please?
I think it's going to be tight. I think Denmark are a good side, and they're well up for it after what happened with Christian Eriksen. So, but I fancy England in extra time.
Okay, Ben?
2-0 England, goal either half.
Adam?
I'm the same as Ben, 2-0. Probably a goal either half as well.
Craig?
Yeah, I'm going to be really boring and say 2-0 as well. That's what I think in normal time.
Kieran?
3-0. I reckon we'll just kill it off at the end, but I can't see us conceding though. I think we just don't know how we're going to concede. I think the only way we may concede is if it's going to be through like an unfortunate keeper mistake or something, because Jordan Pickford has that in his locker. I know he's a different player for England than he is, but I think we've got a strong enough defence behind us, and I think we've got enough to keep Denmark out.
Well, I'll be honest, I was, when I asked the question, I was thinking 2-0, but to give a bit of variety, I'm going to say 3-1, and I know that means we do concede, but I'll take 3-1 if you offered me it right now.
If you told me we wouldn't have conceded a goal by this point of the tournament, I'd have laughed at you. Like, we haven't conceded a goal and you've got to the semi-final, I'd have laughed at you. I wouldn't laugh so much for the semi-final, but not conceding a goal would have been like, no, not a chance. But not conceding a goal and scoring goals as well now, like that was a warning last night as well. Look, we can score goals, we can rip a team apart, and we are good at it.
Yeah, I think the only way we'll concede is if it's a controversial decision, like a controversial penalty or something like that, which we normally get in most tournaments. If you look at it historically, like a sending off or something like that, or a goal disallowed. But that's the only way I can see something like that happening. Hopefully, touch wood, it doesn't. But yeah, we're looking really solid at the back. And I know I've jinxed it now.
Now we are starting to sound like the Swindon Town fans. We're all like, yes, it is coming home, but this will happen. There will be a red card. There will be a penalty.
We ain't getting any. We'll be all right with controversial decisions. We had 4 German officials yesterday. We'll be fine.
Yeah.
Right, lads. Let's move on to the game and to explain to those watching or listening how this worked. I have challenged everyone here to name a Swindon Town player that they have seen play for Swindon Town. So they've not gone right back to the 1940s, etc. Beginning whose surname is the letter of the alphabet. As we go through them, everyone who names a unique player will get a point. The winner will be the person with the most points. Now, it's worth noting that some of us have done more research into this than others. Others have gone simply with the mentality of I'm going to stop people scoring points if I can. And but let's see how we go. I think to keep it fair, I'll run it in the order again that you appear on the screen, but each time I'll start with the next person along. So if we can begin with the letter A, please, Joe. Who have you come up with?
Well, I'm going for an obvious one to try and double bluff. So Charlie Austin.
Okay. Ben?
For an A or B?
A.
Archibald Hemphill.
Oh, nice. Adam?
Ahmed Abdullah.
Nice.
Craig?
Not remember his surname.
Sorry, Craig, we couldn't hear anything you said.
Yeah, sorry, I had to mute my bloody microphone because my dog keeps bloody barking. I think I've overthought it a bit because I thought that Ned and Christian would be with me. So I'm like trying to really sort of think what they would go for. But I've gone for Gary Alexander, Colin Todd signing.
Kieran?
Harry Agambar.
Nice. And I
knew you were going to go for Agambar. That's where I went for Abdullah.
It was either Akutu, but I've only seen him play in a pre-season. But I thought after I went on about him the other week, so everyone's going to go, we've got someone go Akutu to do it. So I'm going to go Agambar because no one's going to have it. And if they do, I'll do it for it.
He's shacked up with Wayne Lineker's daughter, isn't he?
Yeah, I've seen this. He's fucking doing very well for himself.
Yeah, I've just seen that.
Gets to play for Swindon, gets to hang around the club for a year or two, and now gets it back.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's got like a beef all sorted, isn't he? Free holidays whenever he wants now.
Yeah.
He's a dad now. So.
Well, if you fancy, we won't talk about it.
I have to say, when this game was suggested to me, I didn't think the first story that would come from a list of Swindon players' names was a random Swindon player's current relationship status. I thought someone might jump in, I've got a brilliant story about this guy, or I met that person once. Not, who he's shacked up with now. To round off the A's, I have got Hasni Al Joffrey. So I believe that's a point to everybody.
Or no points to anybody.
Yeah.
So, Ben, I come to you first this time for your B, please.
Is it
Ben
me?
or something.
Yeah,
Who else is called
The
Ben?
missus was talking to me. Sorry, is it me?
Yeah.
I told you this game would go on forever.
I'll tell you what.
Bloopers reel, this is-
I muted myself, but the missus wanted to say something. Sorry. But that right back we had a couple of years. Is it Bartram? Bartram. That right back we had. Yeah. That's what I got my vote.
Buatsa, Hill Watford Loney.
Craig.
Joey Beecham.
Oh, yeah,
Someone had to, didn't they? Someone had to.
Beecham's got Oh, shit.
Kieran.
Jack Bartram, whatever he was called.
Yeah.
Bob.
Ben.
I've actually also got Hammer Boatsa noted down. So, Joe.
Aaron Brown.
Brown. So I believe that's a point for Craig and a point for Joe. That's not ideal. I was kind of hoping to be on 2 points at this stage. So Adam, C, please.
He's magic. He wears a magic hat. He could have stayed at Rovers, but he said no, fuck that. Charlie Colkett.
Oh,
What a player he was.
Craig.
Charlie Colkett.
Andy Caton.
Andy Caton.
Me. Taylor Curran.
We are giving mine
Dad?
this point.
His dad might be taking over Rochdale.
Yeah, I've seen this.
Don't be shocked.
Have you
to see
seen who their joint favourite manager is?
Yeah, I know.
Real.
Imagine if he goes there and Power turns up in a couple of weeks.
See, I'm getting all the stories out for you tonight.
Yeah.
Quite unbelievably, I've also got Andy Caton down as my C.
Oh no!
No?
I was thinking no one's gonna remember him.
Well, bear in mind, I did no research tonight, so I'm not going to cheat because mine has already been said, and I've got Andy Caton as well.
And Ben?
Oh, what a dance with Chipotle.
Oh, I was going to go into Bucky, but I thought someone would have it. That's why I went Taylor Curran.
Yeah.
So that is a point for Ben, Kieran, and Adam. Craig, we ask you for your D, please.
No!
Steve, never say that line again.
Hey, my name's not Christian, you know.
Thank God you didn't ask a Christian that.
We know what the trail for this show is going to be, don't we?
Toilet. It's in the toilet, in the gutter, this show already.
Go on then, Craig, get your D out.
Frederick Duras.
Sorry?
Frederick Duras. Or Duras.
Kieran?
Fankety Darbo.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
I've
good
gone
move.
to Joe?
David Duke.
Duke? Ben?
I've gone for an obvious one because no one's going to go for it. And Jack pointed out Owen Doyle.
And Adam?
Thomas DeSevi.
Oh, that's a great one.
He's always offside. Probably still offside.
All offside.
So, Kieran, we come to you for E, please.
E. Craig Easton.
Oh,
I think Craig Easton might be coming out again in a little minute. I went Will Evans.
I was going to go with Evans.
Joe?
Nathan Edwards.
Nice. Ben?
do you know, in the 10 minutes that I've been writing the whole list out, I couldn't think of anything beginning with E. Mine's gone blank, so I've had a bit of bad. So yeah, no, I've got no one for E.
Adam?
Al Gabas.
Oh,
Oh, Gabas.
What a player he was on Football Manager.
Craig?
Did you say me, Steve?
I did, yeah.
Yeah. Gary Elkins, one of the many Steve McMahon shit signings.
Oh, Fatty Elkins.
So if I remember correctly, that's a point for everyone except Ben.
yeah.
I suppose nobody said Asayas.
I think
Etienne
I
Asai.
nearly did. I nearly did Asai, and I thought somebody's going to say him. So I went for the
I
Mike.
was going, I can't spell it.
Because when I first wrote them down, I was like, no, these are too obvious. Someone's going to mention it. But then you don't want to go too obscure because thinking everyone's going to have gone obscure. So I will start for F, and I went with Andy Frampton. Oh, fuck off, Adam. Joe?
Mark Francis.
Ben?
Gone for blatantly obvious, hoping no one would go for the blatantly obvious. Where's Fodringham?
Adam, who have you got?
Frampton.
Craig?
Tony Finnegan.
Oh, nice. Kieran?
Islam Farouz.
Oof. And welcome to the show, Christian. Just to bring you up
Get
to
your D out.
speed.
Christian, get your D out, mate.
No, Craig's already nearly had to get his out.
Hold on.
No!
Christian, just to bring you up to speed, we're up to the letter F in the alphabet game. So what player do you have listed for F, please?
Fuck knows. Was I supposed to write it down?
Yeah. You've been like me, mate.
It's all right. I'll do it off the top of my head. Right. F is for. Has it got to be surname?
Yeah.
It's, Harold Fleming. Has anyone had Harold Fleming?
Have you seen him play?
Yeah.
How fucking old are you? I know you're old.
There's a video on YouTube.
He
Can I skip the
played
F?
like 1902.
Yeah,
Can I
you can.
skip the F and give me time to think?
So I believe that's points for everyone except me, Adam, and Christian.
Christian, I like your kit, by the way. It's a nice tracksuit.
It's nice, isn't it, mate? It
Yeah,
fits
I like
me
that.
now.
I like that.
Just
92,
me, Christian.
92, 80, 80s, don't know.
86, Mexico 86. It's fine.
86, like that. Nice.
Yeah. And I've run out of hair gel, hence the hat. It's not because I.
Was it a nice bath, by the way?
Yeah, it's right. I can get back in if you want.
Yeah.
That's fine. So, Christian, would you like to start us off with a player that you've seen play whose surname begins with G, please? This is great for anyone listening on the podcast.
Yeah.
You need to put some interlude music in between.
Grant. Anthony Grant.
Joe?
Wayne Gray.
Ben?
Jonathan Grounds.
Adam?
Gabilondo.
I think I've been wrong. Craig?
Grazioli.
Grazioli.
Kieran?
Ashley Grimes.
Oh, you bastard!
Oh, you cock! Fuck off! Prick! Have you got Steve?
I've got Grimes as well.
Oh.
So that's points for everyone except me and Kieran. Unbelievable. So we're back to the beginning, and Joe, so you get the letter H.
Kevin Horlock.
Ben?
Hoddle.
Oh, yeah. Adam?
Oh, Hewlett.
Hewlett, nice. Craig?
Ian Herring.
For fuck's sake! Kieran?
You wanted to play this game, I think.
Sorry, Kieran?
Jake Hyde.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I've got Ian Herring. Christian?
Keith Hallahan.
It's O'Halloran.
O'Halloran.
It's O'Halloran.
It's a silent O. Come on, I joined late. Give me that one.
No, there will be no cheating. So that's
He's on
points.
Google, isn't he? Right now, he's Googling.
I'm on a freaking thingy. Look.
Mate, he's got O at the start. That's one O. Everyone put O around his
I've got a car full of old Swindon Town programmes at the moment, and that would be my preferred method of cheating. I'm old school.
Was that
So
his middle name, though?
Everyone except me, Christian, and Kieran. Then I can't believe
Huh?
you got
Craig, not Kieran. Craig.
Sorry, Craig.
Jake Hyde. Just don't fucking get us confused.
Sorry.
Although there's worse people to be confused with. At least it wasn't Christian I was confused with.
Ben, you get the letter O.
Let me right. Is broke. Lloyd is broke.
Adam.
Sammy Igo.
Good player. Good player.
Craig.
Sorry, Sammy Igo.
Kieran.
Gerald Eiffel.
I also had Sammy Igo.
God for that.
Christian, you still there?
Leave it.
I mean, he comes on late and disappears early.
What's the fucking point?
Joe, who have you got, please? No, you're on
Another one on mute. It's
shambles.
going well tonight, isn't it? LSI Andalo.
Nice. So that is points for Joe, Kieran, and Ben.
Yeah, Christian's
Wait.
gone.
Christian's not even here to answer the question.
Shot of his living room. He's going to get his programs, isn't he?
He has, no doubt. So we move on to Jay and Adam.
Lescanel Jean-Francois.
Nice. Oh, Craig.
Oh no, Craig!
Yes, Jean-Francois.
Jean-Francois.
So well as well.
Bex is shagging posh. She thinks of John Francois.
Kieran, who have you got for Jay, please?
Ben Joyce.
Nice. I think mine was slightly too obvious, but I've gone for Lucas Zukovic. Christian?
Mark Jones.
Joe?
Lloyd Jones.
And Ben, have you got someone also named Joe?
I didn't since I've turned on and E. I couldn't think of anything with J, so I've not got none.
Have Steve Jenkins, Ben.
Oh, Steve Jenkins. Steve Jenkins. That'll do me.
So, no, first and foremost. So that's points for me, Joe, Christian, and Kieran. Okay, we move on to Craig first, and the letter K.
Joe Kufor.
Nice.
Me.
Yes.
Karouche.
Karouche is on fire.
I'm going for Pat Kanyuka. Christian?
Oh, is it my turn?
Yeah.
Off the top of my head, I'll go with I'll go with Chris Kamara.
No?
Is that me?
Yeah, you're Joe, yeah. You're the only Joe.
Yasser Kassim.
Ah, bollocks.
Pretty confident Ben also had Kasim, so that just leaves
Yeah.
Adam.
Because Rich isn't here, I think he would have chosen this one. I've gone with Ali Kioki.
Should have gone for David Kerslake, shouldn't I?
Oh, shut up.
So that's points for everyone except Joe and Ben this time. And that means Kieran, you are up next with the letter L.
Gone slightly obvious, but Massimo Luongo.
Yeah. I went Kyle Lapham. Oh no. Christian.
Bong Bing Martin Ling.
Joe.
Yeah, I struggled here, so I ended up with Luongo as well.
Oh, bastard.
Ben.
Okay, run it out this evening. I couldn't think. My mind went blank on L's. I couldn't think of any L's, so I've not got an L.
You get a
Adam.
bit worried about Ben.
Amini Linganzi.
Nice.
Good one.
Craig?
Good one, Liam.
Martin Ling.
Oh,
That's who Christian went for, wasn't it?
Adam and Joe. I'm staging the comeback, lads. I'm staging the comeback. Kieran went first, so that means it's me, doesn't it? For M, I went for Andy Monkhouse.
Boo.
Wanker.
Hate him.
Christian.
Sorry, Dave Mitchell.
Joe.
Petter Michelanda.
Ben.
Ross McLaren.
Adam.
Adam May.
Ooh, are we getting a full house, Craig?
Brian Marwood.
Hooray! Brian Martwood. Good. Full house.
Lloyd Macklin.
Hey, everyone gets the point.
I tossed up with Sean Morrison there as well.
Did you?
I think plenty did.
Heads up tonight, for fuck's sake. Oh, we've all moved round.
Yeah.
Round on
Someone
the...
disappeared.
Oh, that's not going to confuse me at all. Christian, you get to start us off with N.
N for Lillian Alice.
Nice. Ben,
He was good.
Lee Nicholas.
Andy Nicholas.
Mm.
Joe,
This is my preparation going on here. I very briefly saw Luke Nyott play, so I'll go for him.
Adam.
Danny Gesson.
Oh, you done it again.
He's right though. It came to an end.
Craig.
Danny and Gessian.
Oh, that doesn't make me feel quite so bad then.
I feel
Kieran?
safe with Kieran for Nyott.
Nublé. Frank Nublé.
So that's points for Joe, Christian, Kieran, and Ben.
Oh.
And that brings us on. See, the problem is Ben's moved on the screen now. So he's thrown my order right out. So Ben, you can go next with the letter O.
I've gone for Sean Taylor.
No.
Joe?
Joke.
Joe?
So Ben's not got anything. Move on.
No. I can't get no.
Joe, we're still waiting for you.
Keith O'Halloran. Keith O'Halloran.
Adam?
Lloyd Opera. Or Opera.
Craig?
Wayne O'Sullivan.
Kieran?
Tomo Obadeji or Tomo Obadeji. That lad we had on loan from Bolton.
I've gone Fola Onabuje.
Oh.
I had a feeling you would, Fifey, for some reason. I don't know why.
And that leaves us with Christian.
Keith O'Halloran.
I had Keith O'Halloran, but I'll go for
Yeah.
Sean O'Halloran.
What? We can't do it again.
He said Sean O'Hanlon.
Sean O'Hanlon.
Is that full house then? Great.
That's points for everyone except Ben.
Oh.
Does anyone want a quick tot up of the scores while we're at O?
Yeah.
I don't want the pressure.
So Joe is on. Joe's got 13 points so far. Not bad for someone with no prep. Ben is on 9.
Uh-uh.
Kieran is on 12. Adam is on 10. Craig has got 9. I'm on 8. And Christian, who to be fair didn't join into the letter G, has still got 6 points. He's nearly doing as well as me, despite nearly a quarter of the alphabet. Let's move on, and I think it's Joe to go first this time. And it's the letter P.
Harry Parsons.
Nice. Adam?
Ben Perkis.
Excellent. Craig?
David Priest.
Nice. Kieran?
Sol Price.
Nice. I've got Jordan Pavitt. Christian?
Marcus Phillips.
And Ben?
Ben Perkis. Sorry.
He just picked on who he didn't like.
No, I actually did. I have Ben Perkis. Look, right here. Ben Perkis.
Laura Ben Perkis.
All right, we're Ben Perkis.
I mean, that's possibly the most Wiltshire this podcast has ever sounded with then.
Go Ben Perkis. Go on.
Now,
He was funny.
look, for what it's worth, just a quick hands up. Did anyone put anything for Q?
No.
We must have had a Jimmy Quinn.
Jimmy Quinn. I think he's the only player.
Quinn. Yeah.
I think he's the only player that's had.
I couldn't because I haven't seen any. I didn't see him play.
Yeah,
I
I saw him play when he returned.
I saw him try to fucking manage as well.
Yeah, when he was.
I thought you were going to say you saw him trying to fuck the manager. Then I was like, "Whoa, what are you watching?"
He spent more on his wife's tits than he did Charlie Griffin.
He was on the bench a few times, so Quinn, when he was manager, when he came
Yeah, he
back.
played a couple of times. That's where I'd seen him play.
Mm.
So it all comes down to Christian. Did you actually have anyone written down for Q, or does Adam get the point?
Yeah, I had Jimmy Quinn because I've seen him play.
No points to anyone then. We move on to Adam and the letter R.
Fabien Robert.
Nice. Craig?
Paul Rideout when he came back on loan to us.
Kieran?
Theo Robinson.
I went for Hal Robson-Parnu. Christian?
Rambo, Chris Ramsey.
Ben?
Oliver Risser.
And finally, Joe.
Well, I feel happy now because I had 2 options and neither of them have been said. So Mark Robinson or Shaw Robertson I was going for.
Points all round,
3.
which doesn't really help
I
anyone.
can't believe nobody said Reeves.
3.
Craig, you get to go first with the letter S.
Mark Seagraves, another shit signing, replaced Sean Taylor as captain as well. So boo.
Monobrow, didn't he? A massive monobrow. Remember Seagraves.
Kieran. Sidi Sanoko, whatever it was called.
Best.
Is it Sidi Sanoko or Sanoko?
Don't know. What's Google telling you, mate?
I'm not Googling it. I'm trying to. Sanoko, whatever he's called, Sidi.
I went for podcast favourite Blair Sturrock.
Poacher, goal poacher, Blair.
Christian, wake up.
Yes, sorry, Duncan Shearer.
Ben,
Nicky Summerby, buzzer.
Joe.
Kevin Stewart.
Nice. And Adam.
So we've had like a million Smiths play for us. So I was expecting one of them to be a said. So I went, right, what's the most obscure one? So I went with Grant Smith. So it would have mattered. I could have named any Smith.
Smith was too risky, wasn't it?
We've had a million of them play for us.
So that's points all round again. Kieran, you get to go first with the letter T.
T. Owen Tudor Jones.
Nice. I went Ben Tozer.
Legend.
But yeah, let's just have the Cheltenham band celebrating for a minute there. Can we have Swindon Christian back, please? I'm going to put you on a countdown timer.
I don't hear you say my name. Honestly, I don't hear you say my name.
You need to get his hearing aid checked out.
You've come
Andy
on.
Thompson.
You're not listening to a single word any of us have said.
Andy Thompson.
Ben?
Jordan Turnbull.
Joe?
Frank Talia.
Alan?
Jonathan Tahue.
And finally, Craig.
I took a risk, and I'm glad it paid off. Sean Taylor.
Ooh. I said Taylor earlier. I said who? Sean Taylor earlier. Can't have it.
So it's me officially to go first, and I'll be honest, I didn't write anyone's name for you. Did anyone write a you?
No.
No.
Christian?
No.
No, so no you at all. So that takes us to V, Christian. Would you like to start? Christian V.
Yeah. And I gave him that every time he got brought on the pitch too. Adrian Vivash.
Ben.
Anton van der Linden.
Joe.
Jamie Vincent. Sorry, Woody. Sorry, Woody.
So Woody got Jamie Vincent as well, Craig.
Yeah, I got Jamie Vincent as well.
And it looked like Kieran might have done as well.
Yeah, Jamie Vincent.
Whereas I also went for AD Vivash. So does that mean that Ben is the only person to get a point?
Vigouroux as well, but I thought we'd had the same situation with Vigouroux.
My missus was shouting Vigouroux.
Didn't even think of Vigouroux, to be fair.
She'd probably be scoring more points than me, Ben.
She probably would have more points.
It's probably as big as a Mankwa, that's why.
So I believe, Ben, you're next up for W.
W. Chalky White.
Joe?
Martin Williams.
Adam?
Adam Willis.
Craig?
Kevin Watson.
Kieran?
Luke Wolfenden.
I went for Gareth Woolley. And Christian?
Kane Woolery.
Points all round. Have we had a player beginning with X?
Don't think so.
We've had X-rated players, but
Podcast entirely before Christian gets involved.
Taylor
You're the one asking to see Craig's D.
player X. Curran.
I've named him already.
So Joe, that lets you start with Y.
Alan Young. There weren't many options, to be fair, is there?
No, there ain't. No.
So Adam had Alan Young. Craig had Alan Young.
Yeah.
Young Alan Young.
young. Still young.
I had Jordan Young.
Is that because you Googled it when they all said Young and thought, shit?
That was.
I don't know. I only thought we ever had Jordan Young. I never knew about another one. So.
Well, I've got Jerry Yates written down. Christian?
I got
Christian?
Eddie Yowes.
Oh, Eddie Yowes.
He played for Ipswich. I don't know if he ever played for us. He might have done, but you're the quiz master.
Doing Cheltenham ones as well.
You Google it.
So that means point for Kieran only then. And
I was certain Kieran would go for Jerry Yates. That's why I avoided him.
I imagine either nobody wrote anything down for Z, or everyone wrote Zaboo.
Yeah, Zaboo.
No. Zakuani.
Ah! I had that as well!
So, looking at that reaction, a couple of you actually had thought outside the box and got it, but you all got the same player. So I think that leaves Craig and Christian to declare.
Yeah, Zaboo.
Yeah, I've got Zaboo.
So no points at all for anyone.
Thought everyone's going to go Zaboo. Zakuani's the way to go.
So I'm just going to have a quick tot up of the scores. While I do that, Christian, we all had the chance at the start of the episode to discuss the England game last night. If you'd like to have a little 2-minute monologue while I work out these scores, and then we challenge you guys to beat us.
You want
Off
my
you go,
thoughts?
Christian.
Well, to be honest with you, it can only be about 2 minutes because it's the only game of the tournament that I've worked during. I caught bits of it, but seeing as I'm like quarter Ukrainian and 3/4 English, it was a bit of a stupid one to miss. The team's looking good. It's great that we're not conceding goals. I am more scared of Denmark than I am of Italy or Spain, to be honest with you. There's something about Denmark where you almost think it's destiny, their names on the trophy, which is be the first game, obviously, when an unfortunate incident with Ericsson, and then the restarted game, which they lost, and then I think they drew the next, and they looked. I think we all felt a bit sorry for them. We were like, "Oh, come on, get through to the second round or something." But now I've got a great big fear that they could do us more damage than Spain or Italy. And that's my thoughts. England, it's not pretty to watch. It's pretty boring. It's great to see that the ball's coming through crosses now for the likes of Kane to pick out. Long may it continue.
Before I announce the score, we have to take an open vote. Christian obviously did miss out letters A to F. Do we give him any additional points to balance it out?
No.
Why don't we just let him go from A to F and see if we've said them or not?
Yeah, actually.
A to F in 1 minute. Casey Anderson, Bobby Barnes, Ian Culverhouse. Someone would have said David Duke. One of you loves David Duke, but yeah, David Duke. Etienne Sejas. And I think that's where I came in, didn't I?
No, you got F as well.
F.
You can answer F.
No, F. I couldn't get F. Could I? F was F. Fucking no idea. No, I don't know F.
What you say, Rory Fallon?
That's just
4
a
points.
fucking no idea. It's just another name for Taylor Curran.
Look, none of them played against Weymouth Town or Taunton Town.
I can officially reveal that out of us all, in last place was me with 13 points. And I blame each and every single one of you for that.
Good work, lads.
Well,
1 point ahead of me was Craig, Adam, and Ben with 14. With his additional 4 points, that took Christian to 15. And joint winners with a staggering 18 points, Kieran and Joe.
well done, boys.
And I've got a tiebreaker, Steve. You gotta have a tiebreaker.
Yeah, got to have a lightning round.
Do it again.
How are we doing a tiebreaker? I hadn't thought this through.
I don't know. You're in charge.
Any player beginning with X.
Swindon facts.
Adam, have you got like either the Swindon Town website or Wikipedia or something easily accessible?
Yeah.
Okay, Joe and Kieran. Closest wins. How many appearances did the ultimate Englishman Jonathan Douglas make for Swindon?
Jonathan
And
Douglas.
we will let hang on. Kieran, left or right hand?
Left hand.
Left hand. You get to choose who goes first.
I'll let Joe go first.
Are we basing it on Wikipedia, yeah?
Yes.
Wikipedia's fine.
Wikipedia would just be league games, wouldn't it? So, was he here for 3 seasons or 2 seasons?
No pressure, Joe.
Yeah, I can't think if he was here for 2 or 3 seasons.
We can't help you, mate.
So I'm going to go for 82.
82. Kieran?
Oh. See, I was going to go 80. I'm going to go 83.
Oh,
Gone one more.
Adam.
It's 84.
Oh!
I thought I gave it away. When Joe said it, I went like that. And I went, oh no, Kieran hasn't seen
I
it.
went
Give
on.
it away.
It's either going to be 81, so I was like, I'm going to go one more because I thought it's near 100.
I can't believe that. Done by one fucking Jonathan Douglas appearance.
Well,
We got done by about 30.
and as the
Final season.
name in your box suggests, the glory of this game is certainly coming home. Let's hope that next time we're talking football is well and truly coming home as well. Please, if you are watching this or listening to the podcast version, play along and let us know your scores in the comments. I'm hoping that there's enough knowledgeable people out there to beat the 18 that Joe and Kieran got. And if you did score 18, I hope you listened to the tiebreaker question. Let us know if you got 84 for Jonathan Douglas as well. As tonight's winner, Kieran, do you have any final thoughts?
It's coming home, innit?
In it. That is
As tonight's runners up, Steve, I'd like to say that Kieran didn't have a fucking clue with that answer and he just went close to mine.
Somebody's salty.
This was all just for a bit of fun. We didn't want to talk about the shit that's happened this week, so we hope you've enjoyed it. And until next time, good night.
Good night.
Bye.
Aye.